Welcome, Gemini. This is Solomon. I want to welcome you to your monthly reading for June of 2018. So I do want to wish you a happy birthday. If your birthday is sometime this month, all the way up until the 20th, I believe, is the energy of the sun being in Gemini, I think. So I do hope that you do enjoy it. Some good energies do come through. So we're going to look in to see what's going on with you this month. All right. For Gemini in love for June. We just left May. June 2018. In love for June 2018. Gemini. June 2018 for Gemini. Let's see what's going on with you. Okay. Alright. So the theme and overall energy, we do have the Empress, pregnancy. For some of you could be pregnant. You could be interested into someone new. It could be a rebuilding of a relationship with some of you out there. This is the wife. Creativity, a lot of passion in your love relationship, a lot of joy, and something to be thankful for and creative with your love relationship. It could be a Taurus for some, doesn't have to be, but this is really good to see. So there could be many different things that you're focused on. It could be a family member that does affect your relationship in some way. It could be a spouse, but something is good there between you and someone else. It could be someone new, someone old, right? Now, the energy of person coming towards you. Now, Taurus just had this as well, the Tower is coming through, and I feel like this is the energy of some kind of change, big change that actually happens. Sometimes it's forced upon you in a way. The universe tries to help you out, or you do something to bring about some kind of change if you feel like you're restricted, or if you feel like someone that you were speaking to was already spoken for and they had a wife or a husband and you were not aware of that issue. So we'll see why that might be there. So whoever, or the energy that's coming towards you, you might experience some kind of change. It could be whether it's conflict, whether it's just a change of communication, shutting someone down, vice versa. Some kind of change is coming through, and we'll see why the energy might be there. It could be good or bad. Don't want to say bad. It just could be positive or negative, depending on how you respond to issues. So your response to that. Well, so when the Four of Swords is coming out in reverse, I feel like this is when you're constantly in your head about maybe a wrong choice that you've made, a wrong decision. Sometimes these are sexual things that might go through where you have an interaction with someone sexually and you might feel like it was a one-night stand, or the date night didn't go right, or feeling insecure about the connection that you had with that particular person. Something is going on, and even memories that you had about a specific person there. And it could be pregnancy that happened out of the blue, and now you're in your mind about having a baby or going forward with that relationship, commitment with somebody. That's what it seems like. So I feel like there is an obsession or an obsessive thought that you might be having in a negative way about some kind of a circumstance, a conflict, or an event that might happen. So we'll see why that might be there. Now, your advice is to try to bring some justice to the situation. Whether you're dealing with someone who is not being honest, or if it's you that's not being honest, there is something that happens where the Tower comes through. And sometimes, depending on how someone responds, it could be in a very hostile way where they're aggressive. If someone was constantly lying to somebody and misled them, hurt them constantly, that person could be very volatile. Others of you, it could be mild manipulation. You're lying, you're not really telling the truth, that you have an attraction to somebody, you're holding it back, vice versa. That could keep someone stressed out, which is an injustice there. So there's some kind of issue where someone is not being either truthful to you, or vice versa, you're not being truthful to that particular person, because someone could be kind of weighing their options, staying with the wife, with the next partner, back and forth, that kind of thing, whoever they might be with. So just be careful about that. I feel like this could be an issue where someone is spoken for, and that you two can't really go forward with that particular connection. So that's why I feel like justice may be in reverse here. So it tells you to make sure that you ask questions, you do things in the right way, so that karmic issues are not constantly building up against you, or vice versa against the other person. So be mindful about that. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So there is this, say for instance, if you another person is spoken for and you try to, if you're spoken for and if you're opening up to two people at once, even sexually, that's what I mean. There could be an issue of wanting to be with two people at once, which is an issue, or the fact that someone is not ready right now financially, or you're depending on someone financially, vice versa. Someone is needing to address those issues. So I feel like what needs to happen, if anything, one person is needing to be single or be self-reliant before anything can become right or become stable for you two. It's almost like if you're living with your romantic partner or someone else is, and they're under one another, they need to move out. If you're not happy with that situation, you need to move out to be single and to kind of clear that energy out before you are to be with someone else. That's what it seems like to me. Someone was just dealing with an issue like this, a client. That's interesting here. Yeah, something like that is going on. So for many of you may understand what the situation might be. So let's see, clarify. And it's almost like some of you are needing to build up your self-esteem, like you're needing to feel attractive, to feel whole, to feel yourself, to be yourself, and not rely on someone else who's constantly, if they're ignoring you or they're not responding or not acknowledging you in some way, that could cause a damper on your self-esteem. Or you need to change these things by being stronger, and I feel addressing certain issues if you feel like there's an imbalance. So let's see, clarify the Empress for Gemini. Clarify the Empress. Yeah, someone is I don't want to see, when I do general readings, keep that in mind, all right? Because I don't want to put fear into anyone's mind. But the King of Swords in reverse is an Aquarius, Libra, or another Gemini, and sometimes I see this combination as someone that's not telling the truth, and they could be around you, like you're in a relationship with them, or you two have an attraction with one another, but they're not honest with somebody about it. Someone is two different, it could be two different personalities that they may, carry on, day and night. It could be a different part of their lifestyle, male, female, male relationship, female relationship, and someone is not being honest about, their true self or their true nature. That could be an issue. Or someone is married clearly and they're not being honest about that being a fact, right? That could be a problem. The mother and the father constantly interfering in their love relationship, that could be an issue as well for some. Clarify the Tower. Clarify the Tower for Gemini. Yeah, disappointment, walking away from something. I feel like if you're dealing with someone or some kind of dishonest person in your life, you might address it and you may walk away, but you're afraid to even walk away from it because you feel like something could come of it if you were to stay within something bad. But I feel like it's necessary to detach from it and address the issue. Clarify the Four of Swords in reverse for Gemini. Yeah, the Queen of Cups is here, and yes, you may have love for that particular person. You may feel a lot of affection for them. You may want to be around them, but they aren't reciprocating. They're not sending that back to you, either because they can't or because they're not in it like you are. All right, that's what it seems like to me. And you might dream about this person constantly, think about them often, and you really feel some kind of way about them, but you can't express it. You can't really feel it. You can't communicate with them because they're not returning a favor. That could be an issue. Clarify Justice in reverse for Gemini. Yep, married. Somebody's married. Somebody's already committed or in a relationship, and there's flirtatiousness or temptation. Those kind of things are going on. Legal issues, court matters, someone not being quite honest about those things. And clarify the Nine of Pentacles in reverse for Gemini. And we have a Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, and we have issues with money, finances, maybe the career. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different people involved in the situation. It could be friendships, religious issues, why someone may be kind of pulling themselves pulling themselves away from this potential connection, their beliefs. Someone is not wanting to commit because of financial reasons or how they may look, or make a change because of how they may be seen in front of friends or family members, or whatever secret they may have. If they were to let it out, they will be judged. Those kind of things are going on. So someone says, well, I want to keep things how they are, which is not, good, because of the emotional issue that's bringing on to you, or you're bringing on to someone else, depending on what side of the coin you might be on. Someone is, asking someone to stay, and they'll give them favors or do favors for them. It could be money for sex. It could be money for a place to stay. Different things like that could be going on here. So many of you might know what these are. So I don't usually speak about those things, but these combinations are strong. All right. So let's see. Energies for Gemini for June 2018. Very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now, right? So I feel like that's a choice or decision that many of you are making when it comes to the past and how someone treats you, when it comes to your current moment or who you might be dealing with now. If you're speaking to someone and getting to know them, they might be already spoken for, and they might not be telling you, but just make sure that you can only really go by their word and by your intuition of what you might be feeling, and just allow that to guide you. All right. And messages for Gemini for June 2018. Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. And again, I mentioned how you might be around that particular person and amongst others, but they're not really revealing how they feel about you, or vice versa. Something like that is going on. That's an issue where you might be having the same friendship circles or family members or something like that is an issue. But a lot of you are having to reevaluate what you accept, what you really want right now, and just allow the month to bring you some clarity as you go through the experience this month. I feel, these energies are tense, but be appreciative of what when the Tower comes through, I always say, yeah, it's a big change. It might hurt. It might bring through some realizations, but it's something to be appreciative of, to break you away from something that's not quite healthy for you. So then you truly know where you stand. All right. So that's going to be your reading. I do hope that the messages did help you out. We do have the Empress that came out, the very first card. So for your birthday month, I do really hope that you enjoy it with friends. Make sure that you make that your priority, to be happy, to be strong, and try your best. Easier said than done, but I hope that you have a great month. All right. You can always go to the website psychicloveheals.com to schedule something personally for you, as these are general. All right. Have a good one.